StartupBus, you get on a bus with people that you don't really know, pitch your idea in the front of the bus, and then over the next 3 days you need to build a product that people can actually use and that you can demo. What we're building is an international community of entrepreneurs. You feel like a superstar running into this like huge venue. A desk that you can sit at and Wi-Fi, you know.
We are at the Rackspace facility, which I believe used to be a shopping mall.
So we're going to start now with some presentations.
I'd just like to remind you all that this is a technical overview. You actually want to see? We want to see the code.
All right, we'll go into the code.
Scrolling up and down on the screen.
We don't see the code, that's very bad.
All right. There's lots of code.
Well, then show it to us.
Nobody has ever done this in the history of any pitch competition ever, and there's no reason to do it either.
Could you please continue with the code review and just show us that, please?
This could take a while, so bear with us.
This part of this competition is intended to make sure that the apps that are being presented have been actually built.
My good friend Kevin here, who's going to show you some of the code.
There we go. It is written in PHP. You like that?
He told me he had never felt so humiliated in his life. There were some really good teams and there were a lot of tensions. With the Masters Bus, we actually had the teams nominate themselves. 2 teams had to self-nominate themselves to get into the finals.
We're a little kind of disheartened that there's this almost artificial push to have companies cut.
If we choose 2 concepts that are actually excellent, that can come and do the incubation period and they become successful, and it makes, the fact that we've been on this and have that community, it makes it even more prestigious.
It's kind of hard to present something serious about choosing your career and your goals in a funny, entertaining way in 2.5 minutes. I really wish we had more time to pitch. I thought it was a great idea. Everybody seems to like it, but unfortunately it's a little more serious topic. Even if you present it funny, it's kind of hard to pull it off.
It's about the connections and the experience more so than launching the product a lot of the time, but we're here to make a kick-ass product as a test of our skills.
So to cut the companies by 2, it's killing the babies pretty early on, and so that was tough. The idea that they're going to cut more now, that's kind of heart-wrenching. I think we need to talk to our teams. I think we need to get back together and have this conversation in about 20 minutes again. Then go into a room and have everybody have to say their piece, hash it out, and then we can all go drink beer.
All right, so 10:40.
Every conversation ends
10:40 right here.
Awesome. 10:40 right here.
All right,
guys. High fives are late. Hands up.
And that's the conductor for the alumni bus. There's no one that could have possibly gone on that bus and had a fun time to deal with the personalities that were on that bus. So that's why I got my good friend Ray Land, who I met a year ago. He was one of our bus suppliers. He provided the Florida and Louisiana bus. Turns out he's one of the most successful entrepreneurs I've ever had the privilege to meet. He started a company at 19. He quite literally is the real deal in terms of being an entrepreneur. And even though we had a bus filled with entrepreneurs themselves, but also our Hackathon masters, Ray kind of shook that bus up. Without Ray, we literally would not have been able to pull out this event. He took care of all our bus companies. He actually got some of his own buses, even though he sold his company.
I'm an experienced entrepreneur who has built businesses up from scratch, literally from nothing. Businesses that were nothing and turned them into something, and struggled a lot along the way. And I know what it takes to build a business. I came to StartupBus because I like the idea of it. And I came to StartupBus because I think it's something unique. And I put a lot into StartupBus to do my best to make it what it could be. Yesterday I got kicked off the stage. They literally kicked me off the stage. I was making it real. I was making it real the way that I would if I was building a business. I asked to see the code. I didn't want to see some bullshit presentation. I wanted to see the code. People got mad with me. The politics got involved. People got angry. They kicked me off the stage. I have never been disrespected that way. If possible, demonstrate the functionality of what has been completed at this time and then go directly into the code. Thank you. Furthermore, they hurt my feelings because I put a lot into it. They hurt my feelings, and that's real.
We have 20,000 lines of code, give or take.
Could you show us the functionality of the app?
I just did. If we wanted it to, it would deliver food here at this moment.
Could you just go back? I think I might have missed that.
See the code, right? There's no better way to see how good it's doing in the code, but it doesn't say how technically good you are.
I believe that you guys wrote your Android apps. I don't think it's necessary for us to see all of the exact code that you wrote on GitHub.
How much code do you want to see?
You'd like to see the Java that's written for the front end on the app, please? How can I tell that you didn't use a simple WordPress site to create what you have there? StartupBus, Startup Weekend, are they really gonna build a real business? I look at it, I say, fuck no. No, absolutely not. This might be a game or competition like checkers or chess, and that's fine. It might even be educational for the people that attend, but it certainly isn't building a real business. And I'm just not gonna sit here and pretend like it is and smile and laugh and joke, because when I tried to make it what they told me to make it, they kicked me off the stage. They shut me right up. These people leave here and they go back to their jobs. It's a competition. They need to clarify what it is. The disorganization is crazy. They tricked me long enough to realize that I thought this was building of real businesses, but when I asked to see the code, everybody got mad. That's not real. That's not real at all. That's not how you operate. That's not how real business operates. They can show the code if it's real business. I booked a flight. I'm out of here because I'm not going to be a part of something that is a faux operation to build businesses.
I think actually it might be a good thing for him, because he's never been told what to do. He just needs to learn a few skills in organizations.
Traditional grand final of the StartupBus community. We have 7 teams that were selected last night: Career Mob, Grassroots, Ghost Post, U-Supply, X-Version, Next Chapter, and Cloud Spotting. Each team is going to get 8 minutes maximum, and then we'll get a judgment from the judges, and they'll be selecting the winner and the runner-up, who will go on to tomorrow's event.
We made something that's fun and engaging in 3 days. We have 4 developers on our team and 2 front-end designer developers, as far as 3 business people, and we're all connected to the whole San Francisco industry.
And we see immediately 3 things where Ghost Post might be used in. So, for example, boring conference talks where everyone's looking at Twitter, not paying attention. Second, university classrooms where many of the students are texting. Third one is TV, where over 40% of people communicate online, talk about shows while they're watching them. So we're at ghostpost.io/pitch, and we're going to prompt you this time. So if you guys have any input as to how you could make StartupBus better, or how much you like Scoble, go ahead and log on to ghostpost.io/pitch.
Hi guys, we're X-Version, and we love data. But it seems like most people think that data isn't sexy. And yet, without data, your world stops. But the current solutions are shit. There's poor data quality, sometimes it's too specific, sometimes it's too general, and you don't always have APIs. A lot of times you need to download the data and host it yourself. And really, who wants to download a data set, especially a large data set? Who wants to host it? And more to the point, in our age of cloud environments, we don't need to download the data set.
But what we do as a company is we take that data and we socialize it, and we make it collaborative. When you play with data, when you clean a data set, your work is going to be used by somebody else. Productivity increases for developers.
We're Next Chapter, a full-service book publishing company with a crowdfunding twist. Why is it that Tim Ferriss, author of The 4-Hour Workweek, shopped his manuscript around and got rejected 25 times before finally getting picked up by a publisher and making millions? Publishers hate risk. Next Chapter eliminates this risk in 3 easy steps. Number 1, the author pitches their idea with a sample chapter or an outline. 2, the reader consumes the content and decides if they want to fund this idea or fund their favorite author. And 3, if fully funded, Next Chapter will publish, distribute, and pay a royalty on every copy sold. Now, I just pitched this concept to author BJ Mendelsohn, who wrote the book Social Media is Bullshit. BJ has a tweet ready to go, hashtags, @symbols, and everything, as soon as we go live, to go out to his 757,000 followers. And we are really excited about this, so we can see how these visitors react to our site.
I asked everybody to imagine that you are on a green grass laying down watching at the clouds, right? The first thing you do when you're watching at the clouds, it's like imagine figures, forms, animals. So I want you to imagine that moment, and that's exactly what cloud spotting is. Why do we think clouds are awesome? Clouds are awesome because they can be whatever you want them to be. We're building this app because also we believe that the sky can be a great canvas, because it removes the fear of a blank page. You have blocks in there, you have a fluffy background to draw in. Cloud spotting is moving real fast.
This can be like Instagram, you know it.
Here's a live feed. This is happening live. So if you want to troll us right now on stage, go draw on a cloud.
400,000 veterans are expected to leave military service into the civilian workforce. And when we look at this population, there's over a 12% unemployment rate. This is a problem. When we surveyed this group, 3 out of 4 do not know how to translate their military experience into the civilian skill sets they need to get a job. Thus, we created Career Mob, which does 3 things. 1, it translates your military experience into civilian skill sets. Second, it will suggest careers to you and training on how to get to possible careers you did not think about. And finally, and probably most importantly, it's going to suggest mentors to you to connect to help you through this transition. We in the military all have military codes. Mine is 65FX, which is a finance cost analyst. And so when I enter this information here, I'm going to see suggested skills I might have learned in the military. And I'm going to click some of these skills that I have, and I'm going to click next step. At this point, it's going to give me a bunch of suggested careers I may not have thought of that will be outside the financial career field.
You guys didn't have any code written before Sunday, right?
No.
You didn't have this idea? You didn't know anybody on your team?
No.
Yeah. That's damn impressive. Judging these things and a little stressful for everybody involved sometimes. And we were a little harsh on some of the teams last night, and I'm sorry about that. Whether you win or lose, this should be fun, and it should kick off your career or your company or whatnot. There's going to be a winner and a runner-up. Runner-up was Next Chapter. So, and it was, I've been involved with this stuff. When you're in the bottom, in the top 5, it's really hard. It's really a crapshoot. It comes down to a few people pulling the votes either way. And we argued over number 2 and 3 quite heavily. So number 1.
Let's drag it out a bit longer.
We went with Career Mob.
All in New York. I said we were going to do it, and we did it. We won StartupBus. So I literally posted on Facebook, so someone please post an idea about a startup, and within 2 minutes someone did, and we ran with that idea. So we actually did it right during the pitches. So
how are you going to find a job?
I'm going to use Career Mob, obviously.
And then we're going to have the online competition where we're going to have 2. That gets announced tomorrow. We're cutting that off at 3 p.m. And then we're going to have 2 from the alumni bus, and they're going to self-select, but we're going to give them a bit more feedback, and that was very useful what we all did. And we're going to have a separate final that merges these 3 separate streams of traditional StartupBus competition, this online competition, and the alumni bus. And that's going to be tomorrow at Champions. The alumni bus consisted of people that have previously been on StartupBus. They're going to all give a 2-minute pitch right now, and based on your feedback, you're going to be cheering, and they're going to use that as data to guide their own decision making, because they're all going to be required to nominate as a group who the 2 best teams will be for tomorrow. So we're going to put them in a room, and we're not going to feed them and not give them any water until they decide which 2 teams can get out and will be representing in the final tomorrow. But we're going to start now with the first team.
We built something that takes a broken process that is done by 500,000 businesses in the US. Businesses rely on credit for each other, and so you understand what we built, let me show you how that process works. So if I want to do business with Curtis here, he works for Rackspace, let's say, and I want to get a server from him. But I'm a big business, I don't want to give my credit card, he needs to send me an invoice and I'm going to pay for it. That's how most business-to-businesses transactions work. He's going to rely on me because I'm going to say that I've done business with these 3 people over here. He's going to send me a credit application, and I'm going to give him back that credit application. And as soon as he gets back that credit application, he's going to go give reference requests to all of these people who are supposed to say how we've done business together. And this is all done by fax machine or by telephone call right now. So the first thing we've done is just taken this ridiculous process and made a productivity tool about it, so that when he wants my information, I get an email. When I fill it out, he gets an email. They get an email. They fill it out. He gets an email. done, right? We have fax stuff on the way too for businesses that are kind of the last mile. They don't use email a lot. But this is just the first step. Once we get all of this data from people, we can figure out what is the best way to proceed next. How viable is it? How are we going to scale it? So what we're trying to do is get as much as possible to the way personal credit works by actually doing things like tying in to accounting systems and getting that data automatically from the references.
That was rep check. Next alumni team.
How many people here are at their dream job? Seems the left side of the room is pretty well accomplished, but so the right side of the room, you guys probably aren't at your dream job and probably feel like you want to bash your head against the keyboard every day at the office. So that's why we created Skill Me Up, and to show you how we use it, I'm going to tell you a story about someone named Skilly Billy. Skilly Billy was a motor coach conductor, and he had a lot of skills and a lot of potential, but what he really wanted to do was be a motor coach tycoon. He wanted to own a line of motor coaches. But he worked really hard his entire life, but unfortunately couldn't visualize the path to his dream job. He went on Skill Me Up, he signed it with his LinkedIn. That pulled out all of the skills that he has in his past job experience, and then he was able to modify that to make sure it's still relevant. Then he got to type in his dream career, which we know is a motor coach tycoon. From there, Skilly Billy was easily able to see the skills required to be a motor coach tycoon and compare them to the skill set that he already has. So that's Skill Me Up.
Next team is going to be Yak.
We have created a personal alert safety system based on two things that you already own: your headphones and your smartphone. I have some friends that are avid runners. Unfortunately, one of them last year was sexually assaulted while she was out running by herself. And in fact, last year there were 244,000 cases of women being victims of sexually assault and rape. And if you're a female on a college campus, you have a 1 in 4 chance of also being a victim. And that's really where our app comes into play. So how it works is you load the app up, it's running in the background, you arm it, and when you feel like you're in some sort of danger, you simply yank the headphones out of the smartphone, and you can hear that it's making a noise, it's vibrating, it's initiating a sequence. So we have a countdown because we feel that some people might do it by accident or forget the app is running, so you can always disarm it. So once the countdown reaches 0, a text and or email is sent to the emergency contacts listed within the app, and that text creates a link that goes to a web page that has a map with some information about that incident. So we like to think of ourselves as the OnStar for personal safety. Thank you.
That was Yak, and finally we have Nomscription.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good afternoon. I am Greg Ross Monroe, and I have a deep pain. I am a very, very busy person. I assume you're all very busy people. You've been coding all night. And you know what? I just sometimes don't have time to think about what I want to eat. I eat in the car. I'm saying I'm going to have pad thai today. I'm going to have a sandwich. You know, maybe there's that new delicious horse burger from BK, you know, with a sea biscuit side. Nomscription is putting food on autopilot. What we do is we have an app, and we send you a message every single day saying, hey, we're going to send you lunch automatically. Today it's going to be pad thai, maybe, delicious. If I don't want that, I just hit the button. I can change, as you can see, I can change the time, I can change the location. I get 3 other choices of dishes, and they just shows up at my office. It's fantastic. The way it works, we ping the phone in your pocket, we geolocate you, we send that to Yumly, which is a recipe database, which we use with some semantic information to work out what kind of food you like and what you've liked in the past. We then use Order In, which is an online ordering system. They have 3,000 locations across the country so far. They send the order to the restaurant sends the order to the delivery people, they bring it to you, and you get to eat all the food. So we work out taste profiles, we know what you like, when you like it, and it gets better each time. So we will get clever and you can get lazier. We are Nomscription, and we are here to feed you. We're gonna put lunch on autopilot, and this song is nom 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 nom. Thank you.
So we're going to go through these teams, and you're all going to clap, and you're going to clap the most and loudest for the teams that you like the best. So starting with Rep Check, then Skill Me Up. Okay. Then Yak. And finally, Non-Scription. I'm gonna say that was between either Non-Scription, Skill Me Up, and Yank. Yeah? Or yeah, I think so. I think the loudest there was, I think Yank won that one. Well done.
This is Tiffany from Rackspace. She's gonna just give her personal opinion. We heard the crowd opinion, but you know, a crowd is a crowd, so let's hear an individual opinion.
Skill Me Up, refine the next step for your career.
My thought on that was I was like so surprised how close it was to Career Mod. And were you guys on the same?
They stole our idea.
Yeah.
Different buses, different.
Honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't mean that you can't move on to that product and compete in that space. But I just, you know, compared to what they're doing, they've got that social cause, they've got veterans, they've got all this stuff. I think it's very applicable. I think it's a great product. And
Bigger market than Career Mode, though.
the Career Mode can do the same thing. They're starting with that. They're starting there.
Non-scription. We're put food on our pilot.
I actually really like that a lot. I don't work in an office anymore, but working in an office, I'd be like, wow, that'd be nice if I could just like have it delivered to me in there. I also kind of like the idea of taking that, and I'm a mom, I'm a wife. It's like every night my husband's like, so what's for dinner? I'm like, I don't know, what's for dinner? It'd be kind of nice to take that and have them come up with ideas on what I should create for dinner as well. I love your idea. I really do. I thought it was really great.
Team Yank, and we're the OnStar for your phone using one of the easiest systems is pulling the headphones out of your phone, especially if you're running. You know.
I'm going to be honest, this is my favorite. I love the idea of that personal safety mechanism. I mean, it's something that people, I haven't seen anything like that before. And so that, to me, out of everything, is really a best foot forward. It's different from everything else up there. It's not something that's on the market, and it's taking something that everybody has this, and it's one more use for this phone. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Business credit applications, the process of business credit applications, and our intention is to really disrupt that the entire way that people in small and medium-sized businesses, and maybe even businesses as large as Rackspace, do their business credit applications.
I didn't understand how you guys were really simplifying it. The way you presented with how the process is today and that, it started to confuse me a little bit. I'm like, I understand there was a problem there and things don't make sense, but I think you got to focus on, again, back to the kind of that simplification of it. Like, how have you just made this seamless?
We have to now decide amongst ourselves who are the two. Now we have your opinions, and then we also know how hard people are working on this, and you know how much different teams want it.
So
we're gonna have to make some decisions now.
Winning the competition doesn't mean that everything stops. You know, if you don't win, doesn't mean that everything stops. So I would just like take that to heart. You've done this before. Like, put the best foot forward for what StartupBus is. You guys are creating legacies here. So be proud of that. Be happy about that. And I'll let you guys go figure it out.
5 teams, right?
Correct.
And we need to. You guys have to nominate who you want to go forward. It's now to take this to the new level and actually build a business. Rep check. We've got 2 votes. Non-scription.
Were we saying you can't vote for yourself?
Not vote for ourselves.
And you get 2 votes.
You get 2 votes.
So 1, 2. Skill Me Up. 1.
Can't vote for yourself though, right?
Did he vote for himself? Okay. Yak is 1. Yank, sorry. 1, 2,
4.
3, 4. Based off that, we've got 2 for non-scription, 2 for rep check, 4 on Yank. Have everyone done 2 votes?
The reason I didn't vote is because if I vote for
What's a rep check?
We lose automatically.
So, to be honest,
rep check.
He just put rep check. He had the deciding
Rep
vote.
check.
So
We're good. Yeah, rep check.
Rep check.
Yeah.
Woo! Congratulations, gentlemen.
Like
80% of the people that we pitch this to have no idea what we're talking about. And I want somebody from the alumni bus to have a real shot at winning.
What we need to explain to people is just that we have already decided to continue going forward with this, and that we can win with the product outside of what the judging is. And I love you guys.
You guys think we can win? You think we can win against all those teams?
Absolutely.
Next time on StartupBus.
Sir, would you please come up here and accept your prize? Please give him a round of applause, ladies.
Learn a lot about pitches.
One more round of applause, James, everybody. Thank you.
In our presentation, we just haven't come up with the right way to present this thing so that people can quickly understand exactly what it is that we're trying to do.
Welcome to the StartupBus All-Star Final.
Team is important. We need to really focus on team.
We got our winners.